Hey guys, Scar9 here, welcome back to my channel today. It is now the third week of the April update, and thus we have another new rotation of bosses and modifiers within the Challenge of Elders. So once again, I'm here to share my best tips and strategies for this week's challenge with you guys, but let's go ahead and begin. So the modifiers this week are actually very interesting. First we have melee kill bonus, which makes your melee kills grant much more points for the challenge. The second modifier this week is exposure, which gives you guys more health, but it makes it so your shields do not regenerate. And finally, we do have Trickle, which makes it so that your super, melee, and grenade charges are much slower. I honestly wouldn't worry about these modifiers too much. While you may only have your super a handful of times throughout the whole challenge, you really only need to focus on knifing enemies the entire time, which actually isn't that difficult. So right off the bat, we face a brand new boss. This is a Fallen-themed boss named Kexis the Betrayed. I would just like to start off by saying that this guy looks insane. I'm very pleased with how he looks. His face is completely blacked out and is pretty much always tilted to the side, which just makes him look crazy, and overall he just looks amazing. He also features a couple different abilities. First of all, he can drain your light just like Oryx can, and thus I wouldn't plan on having your super this round because that on top of Trickle makes it nearly impossible to earn it. Secondly, he can shoot the blinding balls of darkness just like a Taken Captain, and finally he has a pretty interesting attack. So every once in a while, the game feed down in the bottom left corner will say Kexis summons explosives. This means that around where he currently is, a mini blight will spawn, and if it is left alone for a couple of seconds, the blight will actually detonate, and every player in your fire team will become suppressed for 5 to 10 seconds. To avoid this, you guys must stand in the close vicinity of the blight, and this will neutralize it. You won't get any kind of notification that you've neutralized it, but you won't become suppressed. This is a very interesting mechanic, and it definitely adds depth to the fight. Every time my team completed this round, we had at least 7,000 points, so that should not be an issue for you guys this week. The second boss that we fight is the Seditious Mind, whom we fought last week. Once again, this boss is extremely simple, as his only attack is to spawn little rings on the ground that will damage those inside of it. I would definitely just focus on making sure that you guys get at least 15 to 20,000 points within this round and not really worry about the boss. In the final round, we are facing another new boss. This one is named the Wretched Knight, and he also features a couple of new abilities. Every once in a while, you will see the Wretched Knight spawn mines. This just means that he spawned Taken mines all around the outskirts of the arena. Basically, anywhere where you can hide and get away from the sight of the boss, there will be a mine spawned. So just be wary of those, and don't forget about them like I do here. His only other move is a kind of weird one that I wasn't actually able to find out what it does specifically, but I've got a pretty good idea. So in the game feed, it will say that the Wretched Knight forces his enemies back. Around this time, I think the Knight will hit the ground, knocking anyone that is really close to him a couple of feet back. I'm not really sure this is what this is supposed to do because he does do this ground slam when it doesn't say that in the game feed. And half the time, the attack doesn't even knock you back. Actually, throughout my 3 times completing it this morning, I only got him to knock me back once. So I really wouldn't worry about this mechanic that much, as I can't really figure out what it does. And that means it's not very prominent or dangerous. So overall, getting at least 30,000 points should not be a problem for you guys. This is a fairly easy rotation, and you guys should just have a lot of fun with it. If you guys are still looking for a 335 class item, a ghost, or secondary, I would definitely recommend farming this week rather than waiting for a harder one or chancing it out. I would just go ahead and get it over with. One more thing that I do want to start doing in these videos is showing you guys the rewards I got from the one character I do this on before I make this video. So first I got the Queenbreaker's bow at 335. Then I returned to the Reef Tiverix, where I received a 335 armor chest piece and a 335 Queen sidearm with a decent roll, both of which will probably make pretty good infusion material. But this is going to bring us to the end of this video. If you guys did find this guide useful, make sure to leave a like rating and share it with your friends. If you guys got anything awesome from this week's challenge, tell me down in the comment section below. I'm very interested in your rewards. If you are interested in my review of the buffed Dreg's Promise, you can click the annotation on screen to watch that. Finally, make sure you guys subscribe for more awesome Destiny content, and I'll see you guys in my next video.